Before probably we conclude, I can ask you a final questions. Maybe you can give a suggestion to any ordinary people how to not become a tool on somebody's informational operations. What would you suggest? Maybe some simple steps for any ordinary person.
Well, one, study, right? Learn, educate yourself. Look at the history of disinformation. There's a lot of great literature out there now, a lot of great books, YouTube videos, if you don't want to read, you don't have time, you're in the gym, or so that's one. Two, remember to just take a deep breath when you see information and say, okay, let me double check this. And it's not that hard today because there's a lot of information online too. So there's information, counter information. Just do some research, right? Don't become emotional right away, and understand that a lot of the algorithms that are being designed on the social media are designed to pull this response from you, this emotional response, right? And so you have to kind of counter that. You have to be your best source of counter disinformation. And the last point I'd say is remember that if you don't know something and you see information and that pulls out that kind of response, your desire should be, okay, I want to fill that vacuum of what I don't know. If you don't really know Ukrainian history, this is why I was so proud of my students, because we were talking about a figure in Ukrainian history, and they started asking a lot of questions, and I said, okay, how much do you know of the history? Well, not a lot. And then they came back to me the next class and they said, we want to create a course on Ukrainian history because we see there's a vacuum, there's a void. We want to fill that void. That is the right response, right? And if we can do that, I think we're in a much better place than we are today in society, where there's a lot of voids and there's a lot of information being thrown at people and then a lot of emotional responses, which polarizes people, which divides people. And we should remember the only people that I'll just speak for the United States. Ask yourself, who wants us divided? Who wants Democrats to hate Republicans? Who wants African Americans to hate Caucasians? Who wants Asian Americans to hate Hispanic Americans? Divided, we're the divide and conquer approach. We see how it's worked in other places. Who shouldn't want that? We shouldn't want that. And that means that we should take the time and be disciplined enough to say, okay, did this really happen in this community, or did this pastor in this church, or did this imam really say that? Because we know during the 2016 election cycle, the Russians were putting information to different religious communities in the United States to try them to get to fight with each other. Why? Because they're trying to weaken society. They're trying to weaken society so that the government implodes, and then they can project their influence, and they can take, by the way, all the Americans listening, they want to take what you have. And they're going to do that without having to fire a shot if you don't show discipline. And instead of going to the gun range and shooting, which by the way I like to do myself, but there's nothing wrong with that, but also take the time to read, because the best bullet you have, the best self-defense you have is your ability to think. So, and people are counting on us not wanting to think.
That's true. Thank you very much for sharing your expertise. I think it's a great conclusion, and it's a very good advice for everyone to think in every single country, and specifically for America, because I truly believe that United States of America, it's the real land of the free, and basically it's the country that can really help to prosper the entire world.
Right.
So we should safeguard here, the freedoms, and we should make sure that we're not staying divided, because we understand who benefits from that. Thank you again for your time.
Дякую. Супер дякую.
Дякуємо вам.